Hey, what's up, guys? It's Russo and Jordy, Backdoor Fantasy Sports. We're going to be talking about the NBA. I mean, there's only one game on the slate tonight. We're talking about May 4th, Saturday, the start to the Nuggets and the Timberwolves series. Should be a lot of fun. We've just got a couple plays for you, and I've got like an honorable mention again. I don't know if Jordy has any, but I've got a couple plays I was torn between, but I ended up going with Mike Conley. But before we get into all of these, if you haven't signed up for Prize Picks or Underdog yet, for Prize Picks, just use the code at the bottom of the screen, and they're going to match your first deposit up to $100. And then for Underdog, if you just use code BACKDOOR when you're signing up, for now, they're doing a deposit match up to $250. And they're giving you some instant pick'em specials, so you get some discounted plays and a deposit match up to $250. Just go through the link in the description of the video for both of these if you're looking to sign up. But yeah, just use the code at the bottom of the screen for Prize Picks, and then for Underdog, just use code BACKDOOR. They'll hook you up with all those goodies. So these are the plays we're going to be going with. I'm taking Mike Conley fantasy score over 24.5 on Prize Picks, and on Underdog, I hope it doesn't go away because we're getting this very low, but I like Jaden McDaniels over 8.5 points. What are you getting into, Jordy?
Yeah, so on Prize Picks, I'm taking Jokic for over 8.5 assists, and then on Underdog, I'm taking him for over 12.5 rebounds.
All right. Well, yeah, let's just get right into these. I'm going to start with Mike Conley here. Let's take a look at this over-under. Since we're both going to be talking about the same game, I can just get this out of the way real quick. We got a 208.5 over under. Nuggets favored by 4.5. I am very excited about this series because, you know, the Timberwolves looked really good. They came in and swept us. That was who I wanted the Suns to get in round one, and we got what we asked for, you know, and they came in and just stomped us. So they're playing really good ball. Nuggets look like they're back into championship form. I can't wait for this game to start. I'm watching it very closely. Before I break these down, though, I just want to tell you guys about this app we use from Daily Grind, the DFS Optimizer. It's awesome. It's what's on my screen right now, and you basically just go on here and it shows you all of the plays, but it does all the work for you. I currently have this set on overs because I was just looking at the overs. But it puts all of them in order with like, you know, whatever they think is the most likely to hit. They give you all the odds. They give you their odds, and they give you all of the other platforms' odds. And you can see what I like to utilize is looking for discrepancies, which it points out for you. But you can see what you're getting the line at, and then you can see what all the other platforms have that line at. Like this Karl Anthony Towns PRA that they have juice to go over. We can see we're getting it at 28.5 on Prize Picks, and we can see other platforms have this all the way up at 30.5. So you know, like, okay, like some platforms think that this line's just too low, so maybe that's a sign for me to take the over. That's kind of how you utilize it. If you guys want to check this out, they're giving all of our viewers 25% off when you use code BACKDOOR. Just go to dgfantasy.com, and when you sign up, throw in code BACKDOOR, and you'll get 25% off of any of the tools they offer. We love the optimizer, but all of their tools are awesome. So definitely check that out. All right, let's break down Mike Conley here. So fantasy score, I like it because he's been hitting this a lot. That's the head-to-head. But just regular, he's gone over the 6 out of his last 10 games. He's been relatively active on defense, and you guys know we always look for that when we're taking fantasy score because it's worth 3 points. So they have his fantasy score at a relatively low line compared to his PRA. Sometimes it's just like across the board, you'll see the difference, like the points adjusted because the like rebounds for fantasy score are worth like 1.2, assists are worth 1.5. So it's a little bit of a different scoring situation there, fantasy score versus PRA. But yeah, like the reason I want to check out the blocks and steals is because those are worth so much for fantasy score. So he's gone, it looks like 8 out of his last 10 games with at least 1 block or steal. So we know that's 3 points there automatically. When we look at the head-to-head, he is not too active. So typically I would say, I don't even know if I want to take fantasy score over PRA, but in this case, they actually have the fantasy score line like pretty low. And I can show you right here. This is the top play on Daily Grind right now at a 54.38% odds to hit the over. Prize Picks has given us this at 24.5. You can see everyone else has it at 25.8 or higher. DraftKings all the way up at 26.1. So we're getting it at a discount. That's why Daily Grind has this so green right now, saying, hey, there's a discrepancy here. Jump on this, take the over. So I'm feeling good about it. If we take a look at what he's done overall fantasy score wise, he's done pretty good. He's gone 6 out of his last 10 games. He's cleared this line of 24.5. And then if we look at the head-to-head, he's done great as well. 7 out of his last 9 games. He matches up well. And I like the consistency here because this is going all the way back to this time last year when they were in the playoffs against them. So yeah, he's been really consistent with this matchup. If we take a look at the matchup for points, rebounds, and assists, specifically to point guards, the Nuggets are second in points allowed. So they're pretty good on defense when it comes to points allowed to point guards, but Mike Conley's been able to get it done against them in the past. Yeah, so with the head-to-head, like the last 4 games, he's gone for 13 points or more. So very active when it comes to scoring, because Mike Conley, sometimes he goes through these spurts where you're kind of like, okay, we have all the respect in the world for Mike Conley. We know what he's done with his career, but he's been a little quiet here and there. But yeah, that hasn't been the case the last several matchups against the Nuggets, and even as of late, he's been pretty active getting it done. Over his last 10 games, he's averaging just under 30 minutes a game, just 2.1 fouls. So he's a very clean player, 7.1 rebound chances per game, 8.7 potential assists per game, shooting 42% from the field on 10.1 attempts per game, 44% from 3. And he's just killing it on free throws. He's not getting to the line very often, but he's shooting 93%. So feeling good about basically how active he is potentially going to be in this game. But yeah, the Nuggets are second in points allowed to point guards, 13th in rebounds allowed, 10th in assists allowed. So other than the points, it's kind of a middle of the road matchup for him. But yeah, I just like what he's done as far as the head-to-head, averaging 33.5 minutes over his last 9 matchups. So he definitely sees a little bit of minutes bump when he's facing the Nuggets. Just tends to be the type of matchup where he's involved. Now we'll see how that goes with Ant getting Ant is just like super hot right now. Dude's playing great ball, but I'm feeling really good about Mike Conley getting this done fantasy score wise. And once again, this is the top play for anything on Prize Picks right now, according to Daily Grind, 54.38% odds to hit the over at a -119. And yeah, no one's given us this line at 24.5. All right, let's talk about Jaden McDaniels real quick. We like his points. Has not gone away yet, thankfully. We're getting it at 8.5 on Underdog, which is awesome. It's all the way up at 9.5 on Prize Picks. So they didn't have Mike Conley's fantasy score on Underdog, and it definitely wasn't going to be at this low line that Prize Picks is giving it to us. So I wanted to go with Jaden McDaniels instead. He's gone over this points line 7 out of his last 10 games. Head-to-head, he's done this 6 out of 8 matchups against them. So this one's pretty easy for me. 8.5. He was very active against the Suns. He's really improved on offense. He's very good defensively, but his offense has really been been stepping it up this year, averaging 31.7 minutes a game over the last 10. Just 3 fouls per game, which is high for some players, but not when you're like specifically like your strength is your defense, and he's a killer defender. So 3 fouls is nothing to be afraid of as far as him missing any time from getting in foul trouble. Shooting 49% from the field on 8.3 attempts, 4.1 made per game right now. Not really shooting threes very often. He's only shooting 29%, so they don't really need him to provide the like stretching the floor and whatnot. That's not really what he's there to do, but he can knock it down every now and again when he's wide open. Shooting 86% from the free throw line. And this is kind of deceiving because over the last 2 games, like I bet if I bump this up to 5, that would go up a little bit. Yeah, I was going to say he's been getting to the line a little bit more often, especially against the Suns. 3.6 attempts per game, not that much, but shooting 83%. So he's averaging 3 made free throws per game. That's just a little bit of extra info. It's not like it's that relevant to us hitting this line, but if he makes 3 free throws, that is actually kind of relevant when we're only trying to get him to score 8.5 points. So I'm feeling good about this. And this is also the top play on Daily Grind for Underdog for this game. So feeling good about this. 54.95% odds to hit the over. It's at a minus 144, so super juiced on Daily Grind. And you can see some platforms are keeping it at 8.5, but we have multiple here that are bumping all the way up to 9.5. So yeah, anyone that has that 8.5 is at like a minus 135 or higher. FanDuel has that at minus 158, Caesars minus 154. So there is a lot of juice for this to go over. Let me just quickly take a look at the matchup here for him. So yeah, he's got a soft matchup too. The Nuggets are 20th in points allowed to power forwards. So we don't need him to do much. He just went for 18 in that last game against Phoenix. He had this other game where he popped off for 25. So feeling good about him hitting this 8.5. If you guys want to check out this app that I'm on right here, Outlier, it's amazing for vetting your plays and for confirming a narrative that you're building around a play. You can just get in here and just look at everything like I just showed you. There's all sorts of stuff it can do as well, like injury reports. You can check everything. It just provides all the info you'll need to decide whether or not you want to take a play. And they're giving all of our viewers just a 7-day free trial. Just go through the link in the description that is next to the Outlier section in there, and you can just try this out for free for 7 days. All right, cool. Passing it to you, Jordy.
All right. Yeah, man. So I've got this Nikola Jokic for over 8.5 assists, and I've got him for his rebounds on Underdog. I just want to talk about him for a minute here. So his assists, I feel pretty good about his assist line. He hit it in every game against the Lakers, pretty much except for the first game. It's just gonna depend. Like, this matchup is always a little weird because both of these teams are almost dead last in pace. So there's not a whole lot of assists, like potential assists. Like, you see, he had 14 and 10 in these last 2 head-to-head matchups. So whoever he was passing the ball to just didn't get the shots to fall. But you can see over the past, this dude is, it's Jokic. We know what he can do, but I think the pace just kind of slows things down for him a little bit. But honestly, like, I think with the way he's been playing over the last, 20 games here, he's been doing a lot more assisting. So it's the first game, so I guess we'll find out. But I'm willing to take the dice roll on his assists here because he hit it in all these games against the Lakers. It's clear that the dude is stepping up his game for the playoffs. And I think he's going to be averaging in that triple-double range a game again. He's that good of a player. I don't think that's really going to matter. I do really like his rebounds and assists too. And that's why I'm taking just the rebounds, because I like the rebounds. If you look at what he's been doing against them rebounds-wise, I'm taking the rebounds on Underdog. But you can go with whatever one you feel the most comfortable with. But he hit the rebounds again. He's hit it a little bit more of the last 20, but he's barely hitting it in the head-to-head. So like I said, I just kind of want to see what this series is going to look like, but I feel the most comfortable taking Jokic because of how he's been playing recently. So, over the head-to-head, he's only hit this 3 out of 12 times, but if you look at like his rebound chances per game in these games, he's averaging double-digit rebound chances, and like he's getting into the high 20s. So, I'm going to be rolling the dice on his rebounds and assists, but if you want to take both, you can do that as well. Like I said, it doesn't look as great to me. So like, even over the last, he hit it, like I said, almost every game against the Lakers, but I think it's just going to come down to how many rebounds and assists he can get. So I just feel the most comfortable with this assist line on Prize Picks at 8.5. I just think that's really, really low for what he's capable of, but I do feel comfortable enough taking the rebounds on Underdog. I'm not really liking what I'm seeing from the board today, so I just feel the most comfortable taking Jokic, who I know is going to get the time. And, he plays the entire first quarter too, and a lot of the times he does get some activity in the first quarter. Like, you can see he's had some big first quarter assist games against them, but he plays 12 minutes every first quarter, so you always get a lot of value out of his assist line early, and you can kind of tell how it's going to go early. So like I said, it's a little bit of a rough board today, but his assists are juiced to go over, and so are his rebounds on Daily Grind. They're both a minus 125, so just kind of pick which one you feel the most comfortable with. I like them both for both platforms, but the 8.5 assist line We're getting that at 9.5 on Underdog. So I feel comfortable taking the 8.5 over on Prize Picks and then just rolling the dice on his rebounds for Underdog. So that's kind of my consensus on the day. If you don't like it, you don't have to take it, but that's what I'm rolling with.
Yeah, as always, guys, if you don't feel comfortable with these plays, just fade them. We're just showing you what we like, what's sticking out to us. And also, I was gonna do this little honorable mention. I almost took Karl Anthony Towns. I liked his fantasy score. You can see if I hop back over to the DG Optimizer, they've got the PRA juice to go over at 53.37% odds to hit the over. They have it all the way up at a -135. 20, we have a 28.5, and I had mentioned earlier some of these platforms have it all the way up at 30.5. The reason I liked his fantasy score as a whole, though, if you look at this head to head, he's cleared this in 4 straight games by a decent margin when we're getting it at just 31.5. And when we talk about defense, he's gone 4 straight games with at least 2 blocks or steals against Denver. So that's worth a lot. That's 6 points. If he goes for 2, that's 6 points right away. We know he can play center or power forward, but a lot of times when Rudy's on the floor, he's playing the 4. So the matchup isn't too bad for power forward as far as steals and blocks. They're 12th in steals allowed, 18th in blocks allowed. So I'm kind of eyeing this fantasy score. So yeah, this isn't an official pick. This is one I was kind of torn between, but I like Mike Conley better. So I went with Mike Conley for the video, but I'm probably going to be playing this Karl Anthony Towns fantasy score in a couple slips as well. So if you end up wanting to take a closer look at that and dive in a little bit yourself, just want to kind of put that on your radar. Kind of liking that. Also, Aaron Gordon on Prize Picks, Aaron Gordon assists is just at 4. It might be something you want to take a look at. Again, not official picks for the video, but those are just some of the things that we were kind of looking at before we decided on these 2 picks. If you guys are interested in checking out our Discord, there's a link in the description of the video. You just go straight through that Patreon link and make sure that when you sign up, you use the same email on Patreon as you would on Discord if you already have a Discord account. And it's just going to link for you. So as soon as you sign up through Patreon, it's going to unlock everything for you in Discord. You can come in and let us know you're new to the channel, hop in the community chat. We're getting ready to launch some fantasy football, exclusive Discord leagues. We're going to start covering fantasy football content really soon here. We have all sorts of new content on the way we're very excited about. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. And if you guys don't mind, do us a favor and like the video. It just helps us get in front of a larger audience. But the last couple things we'll mention is if you guys have not checked out Chalkboard yet, Chalkboard is killer. It's another platform. They let you adjust your own lines. And on top of that, you can actually protect your plays now. So you can do the shield play, which is like a flex play. But on Chalkboard, you can take something that you think you think the line's really low. You can bump it up and get a super high multiplier. On the flex plays, you can get I've gotten 4 or 5 man slips that are worth up to 65x, and I don't even have to hit everything on there to cash that. So we love Chalkboard. There's plays as low as $1, and they have all sorts of plays that these other platforms aren't going to give you. I would say Chalkboard right now is the best in the business for giving you plays that you're not going to find anywhere else. Awesome, random players off the bench for 0.5 rebounds or 1.5 assists, those types of plays that are kind of fun to just roll the dice on. Those are all over Chalkboard. And they're actually, I was just talking with them the other day. They're going to be they're about to introduce in-game betting. Well, it's not betting because it's fantasy, but in-game plays that you can take. They have all sorts of cool stuff on the way, and they just launched for Android. So if you guys use code BACKDOOR, they'll give you a 100% deposit match. They put out specials every single day. They put every day there's 4 specials on the board that are just discounted plays or boosted plays where it's a play is favored to hit and they're going to give you 2x for it instead of 1.5 or 1.7, 1.8. So definitely check that out. And also we signed up a partnership with Sleeper. So we're going to have content coming soon that's going to cover Sleeper and Chalkboard. Hopefully we're trying to work out a way to start putting out videos for Sleeper and Chalkboard. But with Sleeper, if you use code BACKDOORFS, you get a deposit match all the way up to $500. And Sleeper is now letting you do sort of a flex option as well. So they have like the protected option, sort of like an insured play as well. And you can adjust a lot of the props on Sleeper. They're letting you adjust those now too. So similar to Chalkboard, not quite as good as Chalkboard in my opinion just yet. But Sleeper is awesome too. They're really making a lot of great changes over there. So just remember, if you sign up for Sleeper, just use code BACKDOORFS and you can get up to a $500 deposit match. It's crazy. So all of that information is in the description of the video. If you guys want to check any of that stuff out, there's all sorts of stuff that we're connected to that you can take advantage of in there. But we really appreciate you guys. We hope you're having a good weekend. Enjoy the start to this next series, and we'll catch you in the next video.
Good luck, guys.